back to another video, and welcome to my arts and crafts table. A bit of a different setup than usual today. I wanted to test something out with this new microphone that I'm using today. So if the sound is a little bit worse than usual, my apologies. I'll go back to the other microphone. This is just a temporary thing I'm testing out to see if I want to end up purchasing this microphone I'm using right now, which is why this video is a little bit late. I was picking this up, so my apologies that we're a little bit late here. I think this game is already finished. I've not watched it, and I've not checked the score. So I'll make a prediction here, but you guys tell me in the comments if I should just disregard this game entirely when it comes to my averages and such. Okay, let's start with the AFC, then we'll do interconference, and then we're going to go to the NFC. So this is a London game. The Jaguars were there last week. They stayed there. The Patriots are coming to play. Now, last week, I used the Jaguars' familiarity with playing in London as a reason to pick them as the winners. That clearly did not happen. They lost quite badly to the Chicago Bears. And I said that the coach should not remain the head coach going forward. Maybe if they lose this game, he won't. Now, they've been there an extra week. The Patriots are traveling after playing a game last week. So using my logic from last time, I should go with the Jaguars. I might have said Panthers before, I meant Jaguars. But they looked so bad against the Bears, and they've been so discombobulated in general that I feel like I have to go here with the Patriots. Drake May is an absolute cannon for an arm. We saw some deep passes from him last week. And the Jaguars have the worst pass defense in the entire league. So, for me, I think that will be an X factor. Now, Drake May is a rookie quarterback, but I think that pass defense is going to be such an issue that I think the Patriots will get the win here, and hopefully back-to-back losses in London games will be enough to get Doug Peterson fired, and maybe this Jaguars team can get on track. We'll see. Dolphins versus Colts. Joe Flacco has continued to look very comfortable being the starter in Indianapolis. Miami continues to have issues. They're coming off of a bye. I think I'll take the Colts here to get the win. Now the Titans. The Titans are coming off of a loss I did not expect them to have. I think they played the Colts last week. I think that's what that was. And Will Levis looks like he has taken a couple of steps back from where he was last year. I think he looked considerably better and more confident last season than he has this season. But I feel like this season's offense, on paper, should be a better roster. So, coming off the loss, Buffalo, in Buffalo, give me the Bills to win that one. Bengals versus Browns. We have the Battle of Ohio here. Joe Burrow has been playing very impressive recently. He's being one of the leading passers in the NFL. And he did have very good passing stats, even in those games that the Bengals were losing early in the year. The Browns do have a good defense. Deshaun Watson continues to be an issue. And honestly, at this point, I'm partly just going to be picking against the Browns because I hope that eventually it's going to lead to Deshaun getting benched. Let Jameis Winston come in. I'm a big fan of Jameis Winston. And maybe we can start making some changes in Cleveland. I'm not sure if that will happen, but also I know there were recently some trades here for Cleveland as well. The Jets versus the Steelers. Both teams coming off a victory. I believe last week it was Jets versus, who'd they play last week? No, they lost last week. They brought in Devontae on a trade. Yeah, that's right. Pittsburgh beat the Raiders. You're in Pittsburgh. That's a hard place to play away at. There's been struggles in New York. The offense did look better last week. Obviously, they're adding an offensive weapon. But I think at this point in the season, the Steelers have just shown me more. And I'm going to go with them. They've been looking very solid this year. Okay. Now, this is the game that's either on right now or already over. This is a very close matchup. I was all on the Broncos train last week, and they let me down. I was all on the Saints train earlier in the season, and then they fell off a cliff. So, kind of a rock and a hard place here for me. But I think that the Broncos are overall a healthier team. And I think you have your backup quarterback in New Orleans. And I think that the defense, the secondary that Denver has will be an issue for them. And I'm going to go Denver. Now, is this my upset pick of the week? I'm going to pick two upsets this week. This is going to be one of them. Or at least I assume this is going to be an upset. I'm assuming that the Texans are the favorite here in this matchup between them and the Packers. But this is their second away game now in 2 weeks, and they're playing away at Lambeau. And Green Bay has been good ever since Jordan Love has come back from injury. I think this is going to be an upset victory. According to the betting markets, I'm not sure, but I'm going to take the Packers there. Raiders versus Rams. Rams coming off of a bye. Like I said, I feel like there's not really any good teams in the AFC West at the moment. The Rams, I think, only have one victory thus far. The Raiders, even though they're coming off of a loss, they haven't looked great lately. I still think they can get the win here over the Rams. And this is going to be your big matchup. It is the rematch of last year's Super Bowl, the Chiefs versus the 49ers. 49ers coming off of a mini bye. Chiefs coming off of a bye week. I don't really see how I don't pick the Chiefs here. I know that they've had some issues. This is not the same team that won the Super Bowl. But this 49ers team is not looking like the same team that lost the Super Bowl either. And with these undefeated teams, I just have to keep picking them until they prove me wrong. So I'm going to go Kansas City here to get that victory. Ravens versus Buccaneers. I think this could actually be very close. And I think this game is probably ripe for an upset. I think that the Buccaneers, I don't want to say very easily, but I think the Buccaneers here could play spoiler to this Ravens team who've now won 2 or 3 games in a row. Now, I'm still going to go with the Ravens because the Ravens, I think, are the better team. this Buccaneers team is a lot better than they were last year. I think this team is a legit playoff team. And if things go right on the day, I could see this Buccaneers team getting the victory over the Ravens. I think it's just like 60-40 in favor of Baltimore, so I'm going to bet the 60. But I would not be surprised if Tampa wins this. Then Chargers, Cardinals. I'm going to go Chargers. They're a little bit beat up, but they had a very impressive win last week. And this Cardinals team overall has not super impressed me. Now I feel like I'm definitely going to be wrong here because I have all but one away team winning. So like the Rams winning this or San Francisco winning this might not surprise me. But yeah, that's my prediction at the moment. Now let's move over to the NFC. Lions versus Vikings. The Lions coming off an absolutely dominant victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Unfortunately, Aiden Hutchinson broke his leg in that game, and that is going to have a big impact on their pass rush. Their edge rush. It was a very important part of their defense. The Vikings, they're still undefeated. They're coming off a bye week. Similar to the Chiefs, they're undefeated. I'm going to have to pick them. Now, similar to the Ravens, I think there's probably 60-40 the Lions win this. The 40 being here, 60 here. But with these undefeated teams, like I've said, I'm going to keep betting them until they finally get a loss. It's just unfortunate for the Lions that I kind of have that rule for myself because I do think they might even be the favorites in this matchup, but we'll see. This Vikings team has really impressed me. And I still maintain that they have the best overall coaching in the entire NFL. Seahawks versus Falcons. My Seahawks have disappointed me immensely this season, and the Falcons have impressed me. Falcons seem to just keep finding ways to win. Comeback wins, getting ahead, staying ahead. They've won in so many different ways. I really don't feel comfortable betting against them at the moment, especially with this Seahawks team, where after our hot start to the season, we have looked absolutely terrible. Our offense is bad, our defense is bad, and I think Kirk Cousins, especially being in Atlanta, is going to tear us apart. Now we're going to come to my second upset pick of the week. Eagles versus Giants. I think the Giants could upset them here. The Eagles last week, they did get the win, but they did not look that great in the win. The Giants are getting Malik Neighbors back. The Giants have a pretty solid defense. And the Eagles' offense at the moment is struggling. The Eagles' offense has been sliding down the overall rankings league-wide. I think they could get the win here. And finally, Commanders versus Panthers. I feel like I don't need to say too much, even though the Commanders lost last week. I'll still pick them to win this game here against the Panthers. So, AFC, I have the Panthers beating the Patriots beating the Jaguars in a London game. I have the Colts beating the Dolphins, the Bills beating the Titans, the Bengals beating the Browns, and the Steelers beating the Jets. Our interconference games, I have the Broncos beating the Saints, the Packers beating the Texans, Raiders beating the Rams, Chiefs beating the 49ers, Ravens beating the Buccaneers, and the Chargers beating the Cardinals. And our NFC matchups, I have the Vikings beating the Lions, the Falcons beating the Seahawks, Giants beating the Eagles, Commanders beating the Panthers. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. My apologies again that this video is late. Just had a super busy morning today. But hey, I am now a Costco member, so that's exciting. Anyways, if you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Until next time guys, bye bye.